Are you studying for the LSAT? Are logic games blowing up your brain? I've been there and I know it can be rough. I'm Nicole. I'm headed to law school next fall because I used the tips and tricks that I'm sharing with you today when I took the LSAT last June. Welcome to my life as a pre-law student. The biggest factor for if you end up loving or hating logic games is whether or not you learn how to play them. Now, studying the formulas isn't going to give you 100% every time, but it certainly can help in adjusting the interest to frustration ratio. I simply don't have the knowledge or time to walk you through every kind of logic game today, but what I can do is tell you my top 3 tips for crushing that section of the LSAT. The number one piece of advice I can give you is learn how to draw a diagram. These are different for various types of questions you may be asked, but they boil down to a few simple structures. 90 to 95% of all logic games from the past 3 decades have been linear, grouping, or some combination. Different coaches and practice guides have their own suggestions for how to draw diagrams and rules, so try out a few to see what you remember best and what works for you. Speaking of diagrams, it can be really tempting to want to rush through them and to get to the questions, but trust me, you don't save any time that way. In fact, it can cost you minutes that add up way too quickly. Be thorough instead of quick when it comes to your understanding and drawing of each problem. Most of the answers will only take you a few seconds to recognize once you finish all of your inferences, so think through them as much as possible, as soon as possible. The last thing I will say is you need to stick to your time. Easy and difficult questions are scored exactly the same on the LSAT, so if you're running over the 8-minute mark you should set aside per game and are stuck on long guess and check questions, move on. Spend your time up front drawing your initial diagrams and getting through the easy and mid-level questions first. The hardest question of each game will likely be one of the last 2. So if you read through those and can't think of a fast way to solve it within a few seconds, it's better to cut your losses than throw in more good time after the bad. There are 2 types of people watching this video. The first are my long-suffering family and friends who are very supportive even though they have no interest at all in what I'm actually talking about. The second are those of you taking the LSAT, studying for it, and considering to go to law school. I'm so excited for you and I thank both of those groups so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and especially subscribe, hitting that bell notification if you want to be one of the first people to know when I upload a new video. Now you might have noticed that I also uploaded 2 other videos today. The first is what I wish I knew about reading comprehension before I took the LSAT, and the second is the number 1 thing that you need to know about the logical reasoning section. Make sure that you go check those out if you haven't already, and God bless until next time.